I gotta start. Welcome to the Up Your Vibe
Okay.
Tribe call. So, um, today when I looked at the calendar, I was kind of like excited because I saw all the 11s. It's November 11th, 2024. And it brought me back to a little bit of why I started this call in the first place. And Michelle has basically been here for the whole journey. Rachel was early on in the time. So I basically started this 1111 call right after a breakup, and it was for the purpose of keeping me out of trouble and giving me something to focus on at least one day a week. So I started these calls, and they were first kind of started short, and I created a couple videos the first few days, and I wanted to do a video a day, and I realized that it takes like 3, 4 hours to do a video. So if you go to my YouTube page, you'll see some of those early videos. I did one on sleep. Welcome, Susan. Too much sleep. I can't get to sleep. Different phases in our healing. I did another one on uh, a new word, a new definition of healthy. When we understand GNM, we try stop using disease names and just go, oh, I'm in a healing event. So that little video was produced in one of the first days of my Up Your Vibe tribe, where I did 111 days in a row, and I did a call every single day, not just on Mondays. But that kept me out of trouble. I misspoke when I first told the story about that. I forgot I did it every day. So I have a lot of I recorded them all. So they were on different topics from eating, food, air, obviously GNM, just a myriad of topics. So yes, so today is a very exciting day because it's 11/11, and ones are about renewal, and somebody else that's in numerology can speak of that. But so that's a little bit of my story. Again, the focus of these tribe calls is to, and I named them Toast and Jam call, because we're toasting our celebrations. Anytime we're going forward with our passions, helping family, helping our dogs, helping our loved ones, when we can do what we can do, even if we're going through a healing, we should celebrate that. So this is a little community that's coming together, and hopefully we'll get bigger as we go, um, that we can come together and celebrate and jam together on anything that we do have going that we're like, I'm really excited about this. Like I know Mark's been working on a piece of furniture, and so he rolls his eyes. So
Every week. When I'm not working or with the dog, I am staining and doing
there
that.
you
Yeah.
go. You are
It's coming
focused.
along. I'm very excited. I really
Yeah.
am actually.
So
It's just you get to that point where it's oh my you're so close to being done, but you
it
can't put
is.
the time in right away to just do it. But
Yeah, we might follow that. We might come back to you and follow that a little bit because that is it's a pivotal point of I just want it done. I just want to get better. So, um, Rachel is going to lead us with a little breath work. We always try to gain a tool that we can have. And I always like to start with breath because at the end of the day, the difference between life and death is one breath. Not a joke, but kind of a joke. So, and that's something we always can bring ourselves back to. So that is within our power. So Rachel is skilled in that area. So I will mute myself. So yeah, if you've got your audio on, just mute so that we can
Okay.
with
So
smoothness. Thank you, Rachel. I love your background.
I do too. Thank you. So everybody just be comfortable however you are. And I invite you to close your eyes. Allow yourself to just sink into yourself for a moment. And just think about what that means to you, sinking into yourself, allowing yourself, and being solely yourself in your own energy, surrounded by your body. And then that body surrounded by the energetics of your body. And kind of think about that as circles, concentric circles. You're the core, followed by the circle of your body, followed by the energy around the circle of your body, followed by whatever is your next safest circle. Just allow yourself to be there for a moment. And then bring your awareness to your breath, breathing in through your nose and then out through your mouth. Gently, no force. And then maybe switching it up a little bit by breathing into the count of 4. And don't hold it, but then just count after you're done with your breath. Count to 4. And then exhale out your mouth to the count of 4. Count to 4 there before you breathe in through your nose to the count of 4. So inhaling through the nose, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the mouth, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale through the nose. And go ahead and keep doing this for a few seconds on your own, noticing your breath, really connecting with your breath. What does it look like to you? What does it feel like to you? Does it have a texture? Does it have sound? Does it have words? Does it have color? Really meld with your breath. And by breathing in through your nose and exhaling through your mouth, you're preventing your body from going into that adrenaline shock that likes to try and take over when we're trying to meditate just solely through our nose, unless we're trained over and over again. Typically, and keep doing this breath while I'm talking, typically the body will want to jump in and be like, oh no, the heart rate is too low. Oh no. And so it'll send a little bit of adrenaline that way. And so many people get kicked out of meditations because they're solely breathing through their nose during this meditation. And what happens with this process of breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth is it prevents the body from being triggered. It keeps your body at a rate that the adrenaline doesn't need to come, but it still brings in those theta waves into your brain and gives you that relaxed state. So just feeling the comfort of this moment of now. And that's all we really ever have is now. Just now to breathe gently, slowly, and be with ourselves, our true selves, not all this stuff, just ourselves, the purest form of what we are, who we are, and how we are. And give yourself a little love while you're here in this state. And then give yourself a lot of love while you're here in this state. And then breathe in one deep breath through your nose. And then a big sigh, out your mouth. Ah. And then you can open your eyes and try and remember that simple process whenever you're starting to feel stressed out. And I'll let Deanna finish the call.
Thank you. I got confused, so help me figure out what I did with my brain. So
So
breathe
it's called box breathing, and
for
you're inhaling to 4, and then you're not really holding your breath on that inhale. You're just inhaling to the count of 4, and then you kind of let the breath swirl. And while it's swirling after that inhale, you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4 before you exhale out of your mouth.
Okay,
1,
so
2, 3,
pause.
4.
The pause.
Yeah,
Breathe
it's just
in
a
for
pause.
a gentle pause. and then breathe out through your mouth.
Yes.
Okay.
In through your nose,
And then a
pause,
gentle pause.
or out through your mouth.
I actually picture a box when I do it. So I breathe up and then 4 and then out. So breathe in and then count to 4 and then breathe out and then 4. So it's a box.
Yeah.
Like Rachel said, box breathing. 4 up, 4 hold, 4 out.
Yep.
And again.
Or you can do it, you can call it, I didn't even go into like breathe into your belly. I mean, there's so many different aspects to it. You know, when you're breathing in, ideally, you want to draw your breath down to your belly and fill your belly first. And then naturally your lungs will fill. And then while you're exhaling from your shoulders, your clavicle bones down. And then the belly is the last to come in towards the spine, which almost forces, not forcefully, but it almost forces all the used up excess in the body to be expelled.
Well, I have a brilliant idea, Rachel.
Yes.
When you get ready, when you have a pause in your life, you can actually do an extended version of this and put it under in the comment section, because I know you love to teach, and that's one of your giftings. I might keep you out of trouble for a while too when you're ready.
Hey.
So anyway, my creative brain is going. So thank you. That was good to just take care of ourselves this morning. Highly oxygenated. Okay, well, welcome, Michelle. I didn't get to say hello, and we got Nancy rolling in. She's in a different time zone, so it's very early for Nancy. So nice. Okay, so yeah, Rachel, most of you know Rachel's is in our beautiful room upstairs at Casa Up Your Vibe. So she has a nice little retreat. She's retreating. And so this morning we were talking just about life and this call, and she was like, discernment, discernment. And then that turned into about an hour and a half of conversations around that. So what I want to, part of my giftings and why I do this call is to get people to realize. So this is, some of you have seen, I think most of you have seen this. So this is what a couple coaches that I'm working with, Deb King and Gabby, I can't think of her last name right now. When they coach people that are going into business, they basically teach them to find their wisdom. So we all come to the table with different aspects of wisdom. So this is what's called my wisdom wheel. When I'm working and coaching with people or doing group coaching, I use this. This is, we know and trust our body. That's about the GNM knowledge, and then applying it. Integrating daily fun, whatever that looks like. If you are in a hole, at least accepting and acknowledging that you're in a hole actually is a step that may be fun for you. So really finding fun activities in your life wherever you are. Developing self-care mastery is just knowing how you need to take care of yourself. This is not comparing to anybody. It's not, you need to meditate. No, not everybody meditates. Not everybody likes to, but some people can go for a walk in the woods, and realistically, that's a form of meditation. So learning what you love to do to take care of yourself and incorporating that into your daily routine. Conscious decisions. This kind of goes hand in hand when we look at health, is navigating your health consciously and knowing that when you go in this door, it may be riddled with fear. So preparing for that and making sure that you're making work decisions, you're making your decisions, health decisions consciously, and never in fear, never running away from something, never, I have to do this because, oh, that is not where we want to make our decisions. The reason why I do this call is I realize that in the GNM world and my clients, they mostly were carrying secrets about their health and they had nobody to talk to. So that's one of the main goals of this call, is to be that support system, at least part of that support system. And then last but not least, but really is the core of it, it's the soul's journey. And I think that's why I wanted to, today, it's soul's journey and conscious decisions, and trusting that path. That's why I think this topic today is about these two, soul's journey and conscious decisions, is staying on your path, wherever you are in your health, whatever the word is I'm looking for, trying to stay to your core, to the trueness of who you are, and how we interact with the world that are trying to pull us into their world, their fears or their dramas or whatever's going on, and how we can really stay on our journey and let the world just kind of roll without your extreme involvement. So discernment, I didn't even look into the word. And maybe, who's got a definition for discernment that they want to, and one of the other things that I do want to just kind of say, when we're sharing, let's keep our little snippets to like 1 or 2 minutes, and just to make our point. This is always good in learning to communicate, as I talk for 5 minutes, but it's my call. I'm setting up. So if we learn to really make our points in a very short period, and then if it triggers somebody to ask another question, that's where these calls are all interactive. And we want everybody to have a chance to speak. So we keep ourselves muted. And if you want to speak, just unmute. And then when somebody that's speaking will see that, and then they'll know that they are going to tie up their conversation. Like I'm tying up my conversation because Guy Smiley is ready to speak.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're unmuted, Buster. It's your turn.
Why am I speaking?
Because you're unmuted.
Well, there's the mute button. I was just trying to get back to seeing people. Oh, there they are.
There we are. Okay. No, you don't have to speak if you want to. You have a definition for discernment?
Who, me?
Yep, you unmuted.
When you choose what you want to be involved in, and you choose what you don't want to be involved in. So what is not mine, I leave outside, and what I choose to be involved in, I picture it like a hula hoop, and inside is what I choose, and on the outside is what I have discerned I do not want to be a part of. So that's my short version. That's my version.
Okay. Okay. Anybody have anything to add to that? And if anybody's really good at going to, if somebody can go and look at the etymology of discernment, who wants to do that? Because that is, I love the etymology, because we can actually look into why it. Barb will do that. Perfect. Not so that we can listen to somebody else's.
Rachel just put a very nice definition in the chat.
Okay. And my other, okay, thank you for bringing that to my awareness.
Google gave it to me.
Hulu?
Google.
Oh, Okay. Is the ability to perceive, understand, and judge things clearly, especially those that are not obvious or straightforward. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked this more. Mark, do you have an offering in Christianity? Discernment is
I was just getting back to the screen.
okay.
Is that what happens when I press chat?
I don't know. In Christianity, discernment is the ability to obtain sharp perceptions or judge well. Okay.
Always judging.
We are human. We always judge. It's
Right.
hard not to judge, but I like to catch myself judging and change that to witnessing. I'm just witnessing. I'm not saying this person should or shouldn't do that. That's judgment based on my beliefs. But when I catch myself with a unhealthy thought and they come really quickly when because we're human, I can catch myself, ooh, that felt a little judgy. That felt like it came with, ooh, I know better than this person. So I try to catch myself in that and say, no, I'm witnessing, I'm noticing. And I would have a preference for this person, but it's not my journey. That's a very powerful, go ahead, Susan. It's a very powerful phrase that I've learned to let go of or am aware of learning to let go of somebody else's what I think should be good for them. Like they should know G&M and not go take chemo. No, it's not mine. Hit it, Susan.
It, um, excuse me. Mm, Pardon me.
You
When I
okay? You okay, Miss Benway?
yes, I am. Thank you.
Miss Teacher, may I speak?
Okay.
I'm just teasing you because you're a teacher.
Oh,
So you're gonna have some good stuff to say about discernment. I know.
it just made me reflect on how a couple things that are buried in what people have said already is that discernment is rather than just choosing, it's a practice. To me, it implies a practice. I have learned this, I have discerned this, and one of the definitions had the word understanding in it, and that word always triggers an etymology of when you understand something, it means that you stand under it, you know, because I think learning to discern means learning to be one with, what you have come to understand, what you have come to through experience. And it's like now I can make that distinction because I got in trouble or because I bore the brunt of my lack of understanding. And now I can incorporate that standing under so that I'm not two people, so that I act on, and I act on what I understand, what I can stand under, and then I can discern, then I can determine, oh yeah, there it is again, and that's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's coming for me is acting on your knowledge and experience.
Well, yeah, of course.
Because if we put a wooden cutting board on the stove, thinking that we'll never turn on that that stove, but it happens one time. We're not going to put cutting um, chopping stone. I can't. I'm having a hard time speaking today, so I'm going to speak less. Michelle, you just sent a raised hand. Where'd Michelle go? Michelle Andrew.
Oh, hi. How
And
are you?
then Rachel, you go next. Nice to hear you. Nice to
I
see
know I'm off
you.
today, so I could join the call.
You're not going to show us your beautiful face. It's your
Oh,
right.
my
You're
hair's
right.
looking a little wild today.
Do we care about Michelle's hair, or would we like to see her beautiful eyes and her smile?
Okay, let's try.
Okay.
Hi.
Courtney, I'll give crazy hair.
Hi,
There.
guys.
You feel better now?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Um, yeah, something that comes up to discernment, and I think with Barb's message, it talks about like the Christianity part of it. And I think allowing people to make their own decisions and being okay with that. I don't know if that counts because I feel like sometimes we're in positions where we want to help people, but maybe it's their journey that they have to take. I don't know. That's just something that came up for me, especially like with my mom and her programs. Like I just have to like remember like this is her journey and something like that came up with discernment.
Yeah, I think we all have well, everybody in the world, as we know that when we have symptoms, everybody has something to offer, right? They think they know best for us. And in the same light, we think we know best for them. So when we realize that somebody's asking for help, and we can say, well, this is what I would do based on my awareness, but where are you at? Where are your fears? Where are your beliefs? Where, like, our job is to kind of get to know where they are. I One of the things that came while I was in the shower after Rachel and I had the talk was to check in. Like, where are you right now? Where is your fear? And kind of match them with maybe one little piece of information that will not be, oh, you should just do GNM, which, sideline, GNM is not something to be done. It's a knowledge base. Anyway, so yes, allowing people to make their own decisions, I think, is I like that. Well, yeah. Thank you. Good contribution. Anyone else has an awareness? Rachel, unless she's just.
Discernment is a conscious choosing. Like somebody else was saying, it's based on your knowledge, based on your knowings, based on experience, based on your environment, but it's a conscious choice. So like when you walk into a room and you see 15 people looking at you and 14 of them you really don't want to talk to because you have had experiences in the past where you didn't particularly enjoy your conversation with them. So you take the 15th person or you take none at all. And that's your choice. That's your conscious choice. But being able to navigate in a way that is best suited for your desired outcome. Also, like you can walk into a room and your desire is to gain information about something, and the person over there that you really don't want to talk to has all that information. You're making a conscious choice. You're being discerning about what you need, and you're going to that person for that information, even though you don't really want to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, discernment, I think, can be tricky, but it's so important because we could be under the guise of, yeah, I'm doing this because I want to be in a better state of mind. Well, is that choice going to bring you to that state of mind? So it has a lot to do with the desired outcome, what you're actually seeking.
Michelle, you just good. Thank you, Rachel.
So with my daughter, who's 23, and we've had a rough relationship over the last 6 years, I I chose to discern the things, how I reach out to her and the things that we talk about. So I gave her space and put her aside. Not, I mean, I love her and I'll be there for her, whatever she needs, but I decided to give her space. And I practiced discernment in that she was doing her own thing and I was doing my own thing. And lo and behold, my daughter started calling me over the last week. And in fact, even invited us out to have a drink with her and her boyfriend. And my daughter hasn't called me in, I don't know, years. And so by practicing discernment, like, I know what things to say. And then we were all together as a family yesterday, all 5 of my children, 3 of their partners, Kevin and I. We went to this golf place. It's so super cool. Very difficult for someone with vertigo, but I participated. And I know I choose the things that I, I, that I discuss with her, talk to her about. Like, she's like, oh, I need glasses and I can't see very far. And usually I would say, well, did you get to the doctor? Did you get to the eye doctor? Did you get those glasses? I didn't say anything, and she's talking about, oh, I'd like to get married. And if he doesn't have a ring for me in 3 years, and I might have expanded upon that, but I chose discernment. And I said, you know what? I just shook my head like, oh, that's cool. That's nice. So I learned a whole lot about giving space and discernment and choosing what would work best. Almost not like biting my tongue, but discerning.
Well, I used to say this and it would trigger her. So now I'm staying off those hot topics and I'm just hearing her. I'm just being here with her. I'm loving her without having to be the mother
Judgment.
that just wants
Yeah.
to help her so much. And
Right.
it's so interesting because when we change that dynamic, can I help you? Can I help you? Can I help you? It changes. It's like one of, and I know you've got to go swimming in a minute, right? A coach that I worked with.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
A coach that I worked with or followed for a while, she'd say, how do you get a horse into a trailer? You actually back them in. You pull on them this way and they tug, like you put their butt toward the trailer and they literally back themselves in because people want to resist. So when we realize that and I used to do it, I used to like shove things down people's throat. Like I got to save your life because. But it's not my life. It's their journey. And there is the other piece of this, allowing the path to unfold. Like when you stop that dynamic of you think you know better or they think or in just what's going on, and we just acknowledge that somebody else has just as an important journey than we do. They're navigating their life just like us. So who am I to say you should do this? Now, if they say, Deanna, how would you handle this? I watch my words. I try to match it to their language and say, yeah, that stress that you're going through, I had that before and I had your same symptom. And when you understand that, it moves through. So you'll get through this and keep it. And I know we always want to go and more and more and more. We got an ear and then we're like, oh yeah, we got him and more and more and more. So I'm glad, Michelle, that you changed the dance because that's literally what you did. You're like, come on, daughter, let's dance. Come on, dance with me. She's like, ah. And so you're like, okay, I'll let you learn to dance and then you're just watching. You're watching and witnessing. So that was a 4-ish, 5-ish year journey, huh, my dear?
Oh yeah,
That was
yeah.
your big lesson.
Big, yes.
Yeah.
It took a while, and it was a lot of rough up and down, but boy, yeah.
It was a lot of rough. I like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, thank you. And thank you so I will be going to the pool to swim and spread fun and fashion at the pool, as I usually do.
Yes.
And thank you all you lovely people for this call.
Thank
Nice
you.
to see everybody.
Thank you.
And I will enjoy your 1111 portal. Open up to your journey, your happiness, your health. It's a wonderful day to celebrate.
Yes, it is.
Bye, everybody.
Okay.
Bye.
Barb, were you able to look at the etymology? Do you have something to offer? Are you up to it, or did you put it in the chat?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have, and just so you know, I have a hard time following the chat when I'm looking at all these beautiful, cute faces.
I can't get anywhere.
Oh. Which means to discern, to separate or to divide. Oh, interesting. The word is made up of this meaning apart, discern meaning to separate. Suffix
Row.
indicates a process or action. Okay. Tell things apart. A judgment, especially about the things that aren't obvious. Ooh, for example, it takes discernment to accurately judge someone's character. Ooh, is it our job to judge somebody's character? Or just know that they're being exactly who they need to be. Okay, in Christianity, discernment is the ability to obtain sharp perceptions or to judge well. Okay, fair. Okay, I'm having the sweat, so I'm going to take a layer off. That's good. Ow. Always take your glasses off. Okay. Is there any more conversation on the word discernment? We started discussing allowing the path to unfold. I think there's a really nice, gentle conversation that would be fun. And I do want to, I saw in writing someplace where Adriana loves to make prayers for herself. And one of Mark's commentaries on the Facebook tribe call, Pardon My Healing Event, was asking for a prayer for because it's what day is it today? Veterans Day.
Veterans Day.
So I thought that Adriana's giftings, if she's up for it, can kind of offer us a prayer for our veterans, those that have served. And I would love that we not have any more veterans in the world. I'd love that we don't need to have wars to solve conflict, but that would be my intention. But so Adriana, she might be doing something, but anyway. So well, she's either coming back or not. I want to take that, allowing the path to unfold, what that really means when we're discerning, when we're trying to make conscious decisions. And we can get anybody stuck in their head that I think we should, or I should, ... and have a plan, and everything should be in a box, and it's got to go my way. And if it doesn't, then we're kind of caught off guard, versus a little bit of okay, I'm hoping it goes this way, but if this obstacle comes, I can handle it. I will trust the universe, my God, to put obstacles in front of me so that I can learn better skills, so that I can navigate life, so I can know that, oh, this was a full stop. That was not your direction. And really how to trust when those things show up in our life. Rachel, go.
I have a good example of tying in veterans with letting your path unfold. Probably about 15 years ago, I was asked if I wanted to go to a veterans meeting, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll go. I'm not a veteran. And I was just like, oh, I'm not affected by any of this, so I'll go. It'll be interesting to hear people's conversations. And when I went and I started listening to people, I started realizing that that it wasn't true, that I was completely affected by veterans and what they had experienced, even though I wasn't one. My father is a veteran. My grandfather on both sides are veterans. Their fathers and grandfathers are veterans. And I started putting the pieces together after hearing people talk about, you know, at the time it was all men for in my family, but they were telling me, the conversations were, way back in, I don't know what year, but World War II. One relative came back and just basically didn't talk, didn't talk about it. So how did that affect that household? And then passing it down to the next household, those children, and then that child or that husband went to war, a different war, and how did it affect that household when they came back? And then I just, was looking at my dad, and he never talked about his time at war ever. It was during the time of Vietnam, but he was actually sent to Korea, and I think he was a sniper. So he never talked about it, and to this day, he's just kind of a quiet guy who goes out in the woods and does his thing. And the majority of my male lineage has been like that. Quiet people go out in the woods, but they've also been veterans. And what they've seen and what they've experienced, are pretty horrific. I know my grandfather was on the beach of Normandy. My other grandfather on my mother's side was literally at Pearl Harbor when it was attacked. I don't know all of the logistics of the other relatives, but that's definitely plays a role in family dynamics and me and what I grew up with. And so that, that was to me a perfect example of something unfolding, just letting something unfold, let the path unfold. And for me to go to that meeting, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll go, just I'll let it unfold. And boy, did it unfold. And it led me into a greater understanding of who these people in my life are and what they've experienced. And not only that, but for other people that I know that have been in war or in military situations, it helped me to understand better. But yeah, I let it unfold and I did it, and yeah, gave me some better it gave me some better wisdom for better discernment. Was that?
Yeah. And it makes me think of the time I went to it was a weekend retreat, and it was for families, women that are trying to break the cycle of violence. So anyway, so Rachel, as example, you have two boys. So your two boys have that lineage, have that the ripple that has affected many, many generations. And so when we have conscious awareness of that ripple and we help them do the work, obviously we can do more when they're younger with knowledge, but we can literally change the ripple so that we do the work so that we can teach our male children to communicate, to express feelings, to all the opposite. Yes, still go to the woods, enjoy the peace. I mean, obviously, that's a interesting uh, tool that your family has had. It probably has kept them sane. And I say that word just because of lack of better word. Um, so a nice self-care tool. I'll use that tool or term. So when we do the work for our family, for ourselves, we're doing the work for our lineage, past and future. And it pays off. And I remember at this weekend workshop, they had us stand, a few of us stand in front of everybody with a sheet over us. And it was basically showing what a generation. So basically the secrets under the sheet. One generation does their work. The sheet goes up to the knees. The next generation does the work. The sheet comes up to the waist. The next generation does the work up to the chest. And then 4 generations later, we're free. We're being ourselves. Not to say that we can't do a lot of work in one generation. We absolutely can. But I've literally taken that visual and I've seen how my family has, how my mother, how my grandmother, my mother, myself, my daughter, and how my daughter is raising her kids very consciously, where there's no violence, there's no bully in the home, because that was a big piece of mine. I taught my kids, our home is the safest place. This is the only place where we can be safe. We step out there and we're victims to whoever. But in here, there is peace. I didn't have that in this house growing up. So we did the work, and actually in 2 generations, hopefully that cycles. So my boys, my grandchildren will raise their children consciously and actually conceive consciously. Take it one step further anyway. So thank you for that story, Rachel. It's gets me thinking. So I have more thoughts to do. So I know I asked Adriana, did you hear my request?
No, I had to take a call from my mom, so sorry. What was the request?
Well, Mark had asked that we have a prayer for the veterans. And there was something that I saw in your writing. I don't know where I saw it yesterday or today, that you create prayers for yourself.
Yes, I do.
Yes. So I'm a matchmaker. So I'm like, oh, I wonder if Adriana would like to lead, and whether you do it on the spot or you take 5 minutes and then come back and do it.
Sure. What's the prayer for?
The Veterans Day, honoring anything around that, anything around taking our topics today of discernment, of letting the
Sure.
past hold, something along that.
Sure. You want me to do that right now?
If you want.
Okay.
Okay.
So everyone just take a deep breath in and just to connect to the highest power that you know of and to each other. And we thank God today for every person in the world that has ever served a higher purpose to keep people safe. We thank God for their families that supported them and their communities that supported them. We pray for every soul that is in the past and in the present that has been a veteran and that serves their country and their communities. We pray for peace in the world. We pray for peace above all things, and we are grateful to God for this peace and this love that we share with each other. We're grateful to be alive, and we thank God for our lives. We're grateful to be with each other here right now, And we are grateful for the love that we share to support each other right now. Thank you, God, for our lives and for each moment that we breathe. Amen.
Thank you, thank you. Does anyone have anything more to share? And if not, we'll let that beautiful prayer just be where we're left.
I just wanted to share that for me, discernment is very emotional. And in each moment, I check in with how things make me feel. So whether it's scrolling on Facebook or being somewhere, I always use my feelings as a guide. And then later, sometimes I try to figure out why or what. And I don't have all perfect relationships in my life, so it's something that I'm working on constantly, and that's why I'm always praying. So I just wanted to share that discernment for me is emotional judgment.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's a big piece, because and where it taps into what is your motivation? Is the motivation fear or love? I'm making a conscious decision. Why am I making it? Am I getting something out of this that is self-serving? Am I just loving? So there's a lot of questions we can ask when we're trying to make a decision and make it consciously. So,
And also loving ourselves too. Like, if you are loving yourself, are you in this situation? Are you reading that story? Are you looking at that YouTube video? Is this a loving gesture for yourself to participate in this situation? So that, but I'm getting really good at it. It's practice, practice, practice. Things I would have read online or watched on TV, I just don't do any of it anymore because none of it feels good to me mostly.
yep. That definitely motivates us to, I call it, doing less of or more of something. It becomes pretty simple. Is this filling me or is this draining me? Do I want less of? Or do I want more of? And then to be true to yourself, to ask for that or tell whoever's involved in that. And that's where it goes to setting boundaries. And that's an ongoing conversation about how we do that, because it's so unique of the situation. So as we navigate this week, the next coming days until we meet again, check in with yourself first, and you have a right to get out of this life what you deserve, which is always safety, which are gentle relationships, which are safe. I mean, that goes into safety. You deserve safety. And so setting boundaries with those people that infringe upon your basic right, that's where we just have to ask for what we need. And more karaoke. Anyway, we did karaoke last Sunday, so that was fun. We might do more of those. Karaoke and dog play.
That would be great.
The other fun thing to look at too is where in your life are you behaving in a certain way? Because usually most things are just a reflection of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of tricky.
Yep. What's my part in
But
this?
yeah,
Your question. What's my part in this? What am I gaining from this?
I
and
know I have to make a conscious effort not to let stuff affect me as strong as it does sometimes, just, in light of the election and all that. It's stuff I have no control over, but it still very much affects my mood and what I'm doing. And I'd like to not let that happen as much.
Yep. And
that's a really good goal. That is a great goal.
But not easy.
No,
yeah,
no.
but the
But that's
awareness,
when you take a break and you scroll through Facebook and you don't read the crappy stuff. You look at the good inspirational stuff and share that and just move on.
and the simple
Or you
boundary
take the
setting of,
dog outside and you play with your dog. Because
yeah, and boundary setting of snooze this person for 30 or block forever.
yep, I have done that a
It
lot
doesn't,
lately.
Or
or
sometimes it's doing something that, like creating something that addresses why you had an emotional reaction. Like Deanna, when she created this group, it was to help herself with something. And that,
Keep
sometimes
her out of
that's what
trouble.
emotions are for, is to show us what actions required.
Mhm. and
Sometimes.
and the other, well, let's get into it. But allowing somebody to have a different opinion, like who, my question when I see something on the media, which is rare because I don't do it, but when I do get curious, like, oh, what's going on in the world? And I'll watch this clip and I'll go, do I even know that that's the truth? Most often I can't, even if it looks like a live video with all the technology that is out there. All somebody needs to do is insert different lips in different words. I don't know. So when we can assess our world and go, in my world, I'm safe. If I want to get involved in politics so that things, then you get involved in local. Because that's our world. If we were just, I was sharing my $1 million idea, one of them with Rachel the other day, a cover that goes over the TV that simply says 4 statements of the gist of this. Peace in the world. Step 1, love yourself. Take care and love yourself. Step 2, take care of and love your family. Step 3, get to know your neighbors. Help your neighbors. Step 4, I think that's it. Oh, just be involved in your community. If everybody did that, would we need to know what's going on in Guam? Would we need to know what's going? We know too much that we are helpless of. So when I first got this and I said, this news, those chemtrails, they're driving me nuts. It's taking my vibration and I can't do what I'm supposed to do. So I decided to change my mind about what I saw in the sky. And I can pray for it to go on for a good purpose down the road. I can notice it because I can't change it. But if I get pissed, it is taking away from what my mission is in the world.
And that's discernment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just
Go ahead, Barb.
think you're just touching on something like number one, I don't even like using the word side, but like, especially that's where things have gotten to, but I'm checked out of that. But, um, like with the voting, I actually chose not to vote this year. And, that is a very conscious decision to be within my own world right now. And I don't think, like you said, I don't know that I can believe anything that is actually being told to me. And so we're talking about discern, like it takes time and effort. Like even if you want to be a conscientious voter, like you have to know all this stuff. And frankly, my life right now is about healing myself. It's about, well, it's about allowing healing. It's about trying to remain peaceful. It's about my dog. It's about wanting to build community. It is not like, and it's not like this passive choice. You know, it's just I can't control those things. And the best way I'm going to be able to contribute to the world is if I am okay here.
Yep.
And so I just wanted to share that. Like, I don't want any part of it's just,
It doesn't
it's,
fill anything.
and it's not, in my opinion, it's not even the answer. Like, the answer is in building our community. It's in
Yep.
who my neighbor is. It's in helping the little kid that fell down, you know, right in front of me. Like that's what it's about to me.
Yep.
And I believe that spreads outward.
Yep. I absolutely am right there.
The other thing you can ask for in just is to for the universe to bring you information that is for your highest good, that is positive. Because now I get beautiful things on my Facebook and beautiful things on TV. I got this channel called Stingray now, and it's like under the ocean. It's all the fish, and so it doesn't have to be like the garbage on TV or nothing. You can ask for the universe to stream to you what you need to see to be well and to be happy, and because that's your intention will bring you what you need. I think personally that's what I've kind of, I don't watch nothing. I watch beautiful things on TV and beautiful things through my computer.
Yeah. And the old I don't want this, just like Michelle in her transition with her kids, she changed the dynamic to I don't want this, but what do you want? What do you want to see more of? What do you want to be more of? And so we put our energy into that battery filling side of things instead of, and then deleting the stuff that is not feeding. Because they're simply opinions, and it's okay for people to have opinions. We will navigate our life. We'll make conscious decisions on what we do with our dollar. Like that really is the power, local community. And that actually may be a topic of how to be involved with our community, how to get connected in our community. So we can take that another step. So thank you. As always, we had a lovely group, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. I think we had 10 at one point. Yay, I think this was red. Maybe we had 11 total. Actually, we did have 11 total. Of course. If I'm wrong.
Yay.
If I'm wrong, don't tell me. Just let me have that story. Sometimes discernment is also choosing not to say something. Like right now, this person does not need that. That is powerful. But I have to get it off. No, you don't. Actually, you don't. So, anyway. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Mark's going to go do a nice painting of
the dog.
So, yeah.
No, the dog.
Okay.
Right, Ferd? Ready?
Anybody have any goals in their week, small or big, that they want to share and just say this is what I'm going to accomplish, and we'll help hold you accountable, not in a negative way, of course. I will share mine. I am working on a breast cancer blog so that we can empower women prior to ever getting a diagnosis of what that C word means as it results to our breast. So that is something I've been working on, and I would like to have that done in the next 7 days, maybe sooner if I focus. Susan Benway?
No, I'm just saying that's cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
Mark, you going to finish your thing?
It's gonna be, yeah, it should be by Friday. I'm almost, I've got a few more staining parts to do, and then there'll be some polyurethane. And I'm having a friend of mine, another woodworker, is going to make me two drawers that will fill. It has this empty space on both sides, and it's going to be like a pull down drawer for files, for a file system.
Okay.
And so I've got to send him measurements later, and he's going to work on building that compartment.
Nice.
I don't know what it was originally used for, that compartment in the 1920s or whatever, but it has them,
Okay.
and I want to make use of it
Perfect.
for
Yeah.
files.
That kept you out of trouble, a lot of hours of trouble.
Yes, it did. It's been a long time. It needed a lot of cleaning, bleaching, stripping, sanding. It's been a job.
It's kind of the process of healing.
Could be.
You got
Yeah.
scrubbing out old stuff, bleaching, trying to kill it and let it
Yeah.
go, and sand it down and
But it's
up.
going to get rid of this monstrosity behind me and make me a little more room in my little corner of the world, I think.
Yes. Good.
And it's pink.
And it's pink. Who doesn't need more
It's
pink?
pink. It's blush and rosé, actually.
Of course. Like a good wine.
Yes. I do find it interesting that they're both like drink related colors. It's a blush and a rosé.
Perfect.
Yeah, we're going. All right, he's giving me the eye.
We're all good?
We are.
Okay. We'll keep walking your
Thank
walk,
you.
Dan, and do something as often as possible to up your vibe.
Rachel, be in touch. We'll get Bella and Ferd together.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Recording is over. Where is
Day.
the recording? Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. I don't know how to get out of it.
I don't know how to get out of here either.